Want me to do something?
No, you can't do anything.
Oh.
What up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Barbell Brigade Talk Show. I'm Bart.
Nadeem.
Mike.
I just said my name. I didn't even say I'm Nadeem.
You could do that. You could do that. You know, people do that. You're like, hey, I'm Bart. And they're like, Michael. And just,
White people do that.
is that, do you say, hi,
I'm
Michael?
multicultural here.
You're not white. I'm not. Why do you think I'm talking about you?
You guys both look.
Why do you
white
get
people
so,
say that.
Why do you get so defensive? Why do
White
you get
people. White people with big noses and nice hats.
Okay, leave the nice hats out of it. That is a nice hat. All
That is a
good.
nice hat.
Never better.
Never better, baby.
That is a dope hat.
What is that for? What does it stand for?
Company's called All Good. Shout out to my guy Jason. Sacramento company.
That's tight.
Just me and LeBron wear this hat. Besides that, not a big deal.
All right, what's
Yeah.
the question, dude?
Hey guys.
Welcome to the episode 119 of the Barbell Brigade podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about...
Why did you get into lifting? What was like the vanity reason you got into lifting?
Oh, dude. Bitches.
Really?
Well, I mean, at some point it crossed your mind like, well, if I'm going to be really good looking, I'm going to get a really good looking girl. I want a really good looking girl. I'm ugly. Let's get better looking.
But
And
isn't
then
that
when-
the honest truth? Because like,
Yeah, for sure.
No, not me.
no. Okay, say girls did not like give a shit about looks or anything. They could. They're all girls are blind, right?
Yeah.
Would
And
you
they
still
are.
want to look good?
They are.
Would you still want to look
I think
good?
they're definitely more blind than guys.
No, like I think what guys without girls experience, what they don't know is that they don't know how blind they are. But like some of the hottest chicks, like
Yeah.
if you go to these club events, they have the ugliest boyfriends.
Just in life.
They
No,
just-
it's
and
I
they
think,
just-
I
they
think
just have
that
a really
comes down
good
to
game.
personality. If
Yeah,
you have
yeah.
a great personality
Yeah,
and a great body,
Yeah.
that's even more than a guy that doesn't
big
have a
check.
good
Yeah,
look.
yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys, that was a good one. No, yeah, it was like
Stop being so shallow.
it was getting into like looking good for girls, right?
It definitely
Yeah.
was sports, but I've always been self-conscious of being a little thicker. My family's all pretty big, and playing basketball, I've never been like fat. The fattest I've been is a powerlifter at 235, but even then, like I'd have like I had muscle, you know. I've actually never been fat, but I've always thought I was fat. And so like even in 8th grade, like I was trying to like do crunches to get like a fucking six pack because I thought six packs were cool. I didn't want to be fat and girls. And then sports was always the main sports and girls. Sports and
Yeah.
girls. Yeah, even though I agree with Bart, like girls don't give a shit. Girls
Yeah.
don't give a shit whether you're 18% body fat or 12. If you're a dud, you're a dud.
Yeah.
And if you're a stud, you're a stud, baby.
White boy rhymes.
I think for me,
Bars.
it was also like I didn't want to be that fat adult or like that fat dad or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's just like when time got older,
You're already thinking about having kids.
No, I mean just like when you look at adults, like you look at who's kind of in shape and like the person that's like older but also in shape, you're like, God damn, like that's tight. You know?
Timmy's dad's not playing with us, but Jason's dad can still run around.
Yeah. So it's like
You notice that one like history teacher that's kind of jacked.
Yeah.
And like you're just like, damn, how come there's this there's like this
you forget
teacher.
that they have lives.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you're just like, man, this guy's pretty buff. You know.
Yeah, my high school basketball coach was a big influence on all that in terms of like a good balance of like he looked amazing, like he was probably 40 to 50 as I knew him.
Yeah.
Now he's probably late 50s.
He was
but
pretty fit.
He's still insanely fit, and he was like health conscious on top of that. Like he wanted to gain muscle, but he's like always running stairs. I'm like, well, why is he doing that, man? He's trying to get jacked, right?
Yeah.
You know. But he's like, yeah, but like my heart and like he's taking care of his skin. He's taking care of how he eats, and like I learned a lot from him and just like lifestyle changes rather than taking an extreme. And I've done extreme. I've done extreme of trying to get skinny. I've done an extreme of trying to get insanely strong, and those just don't last. You can't chase down more pounds on a deadlift for 80 years. Like you're just something's gonna hurt, and you're not gonna get stronger. It's not gonna work.
Yeah.
But if you get some longevity involved, and you maybe do it in waves. Some years you're more focused on cardio. Some years you might be more focused on powerlifting or what it might be. But the longevity of just kind of being a healthier person or progressing in that form, and sometimes it is more stagnant because you can't, or feels more stagnant because you're not packing on pounds every week of muscle or pounds every week on the deadlift bar, but you can still continue the progress of getting slightly better and feeling better over time.
I got into lifting because of violence.
Yeah.
So I was like super violent in high school. Got into a lot of fights and stuff. And I always just liked the feeling of like being able to like grab someone and just like pull them out of a car and beat the shit out of them. So that's how I got into lifting. And then at that time, so this is like late 90s, early 2000s, all my friends' older brothers, they just got out of jail. So lifting was like the thing. And then we would just go to their friend's garage and we would just lift. Like other people meet up to play basketball or shoot pool or whatever, hang out at the park. Like our thing was just eat chips and lift weights.
Did they do the same thing? Was it a prison culture, or do you think it was because they were ready for fist fights, or thought they'd be more ready for fist fights?
I don't think they were like thinking. So like So I don't think they were thinking about fighting. I think it was just prison culture. Like, you just lift weights. That's the way to hang out.
You're bored, yeah.
But for me, I think I was already really into the UFC. Like, I started watching all the early UFCs. So I kind of made the connection of, okay, I like fighting, but also in lifting weights get you strong. These two things kind of tied. I remember
you got to train. You got to train.
I remember trying to like max out 165 for the first time. I've been lifting
Last
for a
week?
while. Huh?
Last week?
No, dude. I was like 15 years old.
Okay.
So like I was already
Not much progress.
I was repping out like 75 pounds, 85 pounds, 95 pounds, getting pretty strong. And
75 pounds? What's that? 210s?
Yeah, like the bar, like 10. Dude, I started.
Back then, that's a lot.
I was
Back then,
fucking
that's a
weak,
shit ton.
dude.
All right.
What was your max in high school?
275.
Really?
Yeah,
I graduated with 265,
Yeah,
but
265.
when I first started lifting, I was so fucking weak. And I remember hitting 135 for like 3 once, and I'm like, fuck.
You were small, though.
You're
Yeah,
super
yeah.
small.
Yeah, I wasn't small.
I wrestled at 130 something.
Yeah, I was a $175.
Well, I was like 215.
Yeah.
Maybe
then-
2 plates.
Thick boy.
So I was trying to max out 165, and I remember unracking it, and my hands were shaking. I come down and I push up, and I couldn't go anymore. And my friend's older brother, he just stuck his forearms out, and he caught the barbell right here, and he lifted it up. And I'm like, fuck, if I want to beat someone's ass, I gotta get strong.
Yeah.
And that's what made me like really get the bug.
Did
It's
you
also a
ever-
confidence thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Because like you for sure like couldn't beat that guy's ass just because you thought he was stronger than you.
Oh yeah. For sure, I think he would have killed me.
Yeah. I just got into lifting because I got injured from sports, and it was literally like play video games. But I got sick of it, and then everyone was having fun like doing physical activities, and they still had weight room, they still had all that stuff. But then so I would go to the weight room just because I got to still hang out with them.
What injury did you get?
Tore my meniscus. I got it checked. I just never got the surgery because like you could just go throughout life without
Does it
it.
still hurt?
So when I squat, I always every time I squat, I'll get one sharp pain. But then once I get that one sharp pain, it
goes
go
away. Oh,
so that's why like I
shit.
squat
Just
with
need
the
to
bar
warm
kind
up.
of fast and
Yeah.
then like stay warm. And once I get it, then it's good.
You know the surgery is like 30 minutes.
Really?
Yeah, meniscus isn't bad.
It's really short. Gio got her. She tore meniscus playing basketball with us, and then
Recently?
no. She probably already pre-injured
Yeah.
it like during her college volleyball days. And then when we used to play basketball, and this is one of the other things that she hated doing, but she did it because she loved me. We used to play basketball like 3 times a week, and then she tore it even more because I would always have her guard David because I like seeing her throw elbows at David. And then,
Everyone just beats the shit out of everyone when they play basketball.
And then she had a torn meniscus because it was just hurting all the time, and there'd be this clicking sound.
Yeah.
And then I think like the meniscus shaped like a horseshoe
Yeah,
or something,
yeah, just
and
two,
then
I
like
think.
a part of it was just hanging on by like one little sliver. So she got a surgery, and I was there for it, and it was like 45 minutes.
Yeah,
I think it
depends where
depends.
you-
Yeah, if it's on the outside, I don't think you have to. If
Yeah,
it's
it
on the
can heal
inside, you have
itself.
to.
Yeah,
I
just
see.
less blood flow and less
Yeah.
recovery. And it all depends on like yours, like whether you want to continue to play football or whatever. If
Yeah.
you don't want to, it might not be worth the surgery. You might.
I'm
just
also
be fine.
Afghan, so we just rub Vicks on it,
and it worked.
and it's good.
Yeah, Windex,
Vicks isn't even an Afghan product.
Vicks,
Yeah,
Wicks,
Beaks,
Wicks.
Yeah,
Beaks.
I don't know. Tiger Balm. We had Tiger Balm.
That's still not Afghan.
Well, I grew up in America. Okay.
Do you think it's rare for kids to, or more common now? Fitness has gotten more popular for sure across the board because of Instagram and how many girls have 1 million
For sure,
followers that
for
are
sure,
even
yeah.
squatting. They're doing some legit things, so people are following that, or at least aware of it. Even me, over the last 12 years of I've gone to similar commercial gyms in the Sacramento area, and I see more people deadlifting and squatting than ever. It used to squat rack was open every single time,
Yeah.
besides one football kid and
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
now there's girls, guys, everyone's sumo deadlifting and shit.
Yeah.
Do you think the age at which, or the commonality of people training at a younger age is more common now? Do you think more 8th graders are training now because of the popularity long term or no?
Dude,
think
I have
so. I think so.
like kids hitting me up. I've had like kids. I don't know if you remember, but they came from my high school, and they're like, "Oh shit, you went to the same school?" And like I'm living in LA now, from the Bay Area, so they would come and they're benching like 225, like almost 315.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Dude, how old are you?" Like, "Oh, you graduated?" Like, "Nah, dude, I'm a sophomore."
Yeah, they're
And
like
I'm just
powerlifting.
yeah, if we had that knowledge back in the day and learned how to like train properly, we'd be beasts right now.
Yeah.
Not saying we're not strong and stuff,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's like I'm happy with where I'm at, but I could have for sure been like repping 315, maybe at like a sophomore or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it's like also genetics and how
Sure.
strong you are, but if like proper training and knowing what I was doing, because I was lifting like an idiot in high school.
Yeah, you don't know what you're doing. You're just
I had no
lifting weights.
idea. Yeah, I just literally copied what I saw online.
Yeah, I wonder if more kids are into lifting rather than
They
like
are
football,
even
basketball.
because like what we were doing. So when we first started into fitness, it wasn't really a thing. It was just like people lifted, and it was cool to watch people do something that you're interested in, right? Like so when I used to watch like Matt Ogus or Frank Wayne, shout out to Ice One Cube, it's like super OG.
Yeah.
It was just cool seeing a guy. Oh, cool! This guy likes to lift heavy. I like to lift heavy, and we just watch each other's videos. And it wasn't really a thing. Now I meet kids that are like 15 or 16, and they go, "I want to be a fitness influencer."
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
being someone with over 100K followers, sponsored by a big company, and being able to have a six pack, that's like an actual, it's a destination for people,
wild.
Yeah.
you know?
You know what's crazy? And like, I never would have thought it happened, but I'm sure it happens to you guys multiple times. It's, we used to watch all of these people, and it'd be like crazy to eventually like see them walk by in like a Fit Expo, or you see them on the street, or they come by the gym, or like even we've had friends that like say like Matt Ogus, Ice1Q, that have had channels, and like those are like what we thought of like successful channels, right? And then people now come to us saying that like, oh, dude, like you inspired me to get into lifting and stuff like that. Or I watch your video, they're so inspirational. It's like, is that kind of weird for you?
I think for me, it's always been weird because Matt Ogus, he was always a fitness guy, right? Like he was arguably, probably he was the guy that put macros on the map back in the day.
Yeah, him or Omar.
Yeah, putting on legit training and stuff like that. Like I would look to Omar, I look to Matt for a lot of advice. For me, I didn't start off doing like the fitness stuff. I was just doing like skits and stuff, you know? And then people would be like, oh, but this guy's kind of built. So they would demand fitness advice out of me. And I'm like, dude, like I don't really know that much. I just know like the bro things at the time. I didn't really research all that much. So for people to demand that kind of stuff out of me and to tell me that they're inspired by it, it was kind of weird. But then later on, I really got into fitness, so I started doing all kinds of research on my own. And then so now it's more of a normal thing where I can see where people are like, oh, cool, like you inspire me and stuff like that. I'm, oh, thanks. Like, I mean, there's much stronger guys that know way more than me. But I think the way I'm able to deliver the message is a little bit more relatable.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. It's weird for me, but it's not like mine's been such a slow grind. Like I didn't just like put a six pack on the internet and all of a sudden get 100,000 followers.
Yeah.
Like I remember in 2011 or 12 saying, I think I'm going to try to grow my Instagram and I'm trying to coach more people. And then now we're 2019 and now I have an okay following. But it's been like I'll go to one expo. I went to the Olympia and like two guys said, hey man, I listen to your podcast on YouTube. It's cool. And then I go to the Arnold 6 months later and then like 5 guys would. Yeah. And then the next Olympia would be like 20 guys would be like, hey man, that's a cool pod. And then 100, you know? And so it was such a slow grind for me. It wasn't the same as like some people just post a picture or two or their video goes viral
and, they blow the fuck
and they're just
up.
like, and then they go to the grocery store like, hey, you're the guy that fucking, I've never had that. So it's a little bit different.
I think in
maybe.
Terms of mental.
We've had that once. Remember in the car?
Which one?
Me and Mike, I had a video that go. I had a few videos.
Oh yeah. But
we're sitting in the car, and
he's
then,
like, hey, do you remember that guy that squatted? The other guy curled it. Like,
yeah, he was like, so who was it? It was Brett in the back. No, it wasn't Brett. It was Connor. Andrew. So we're sitting in the back. They're sitting in the back of the car, and we're driving. And then he's like, dude, you guys gotta watch this video. This guy gets like knocked out while he's like deadlifting or something. And we just started like laughing. And the guy like totally didn't believe us. But it's crazy how like stuff.
He didn't recognize her face from the video?
No, he didn't even recognize the gym. We were just training there.
Oh shit.
Yeah, he's like, bro, I just saw this video. It was so funny. That guy was getting knocked out. He's getting hyped up.
But going back to the thing, it's like you guys put out these videos, one, because it's obviously it's business and like you have the intent of growth, but then it's also like you have to do your part of putting good information out, or what you can do, because you guys aren't going to talk shit about other people, you know?
Yeah.
But then it's cool when people come up to you guys and like, hey, like I watch your videos. Do you feel like it's also kind of like, okay, thank God that at least watching someone that at least like, because you think you're putting out better information compared to like these people that just have straight six packs, or like there's better people to look at compared to like you guys that are way more shredded, better looking. Not saying
thanks for insulting us.
Yeah, but I'm saying in terms
smaller
of like
noses.
But like even girls do, you know?
Yeah.
They could look at the girls that have the fit bodies or whatever, but they even come to powerlifters to look at how to train properly.
Yeah. I think so, and it's hard doing like YouTube or podcasts. I don't know what I can relate it to, because I guess putting out a movie is similar, although I've never put out a movie yet. But like, so you do all this work. You maybe we plan this. You guys flew me down here. We do all this. Nadeem's planning the angles that look good, the topics, all this. We put it all together. We all have good ideas. They edit it up, and then you put it out there, and you just kind of cross your hands, like, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
So it's like a weird art to it that and plus it's online views. You see a view count, and we're like, oh, 20,000, that's good. Oh, 50,000, that's better. But we don't really know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
You know, for all we know, it's robots watching it. You know, the effect of it is different than if we were doing seminars in front of 100 people or even stand-up comedy in front of 100 people, where you're getting this live reaction. You don't really get it. So it's kind of like a dismal grind, like where you're just kind of in a fog, I feel like sometimes.
Because we're right now just turning a mic into a camera, but then people are sitting here at home watching this or like trying to learn from this.
100%. And it is affecting people.
And you're talking about things that you don't know if it's necessarily hitting the point. Versus in a seminar, like you talk about, like, let's say, okay, a squat, bench, deadlift. And then the questions go more towards bench. So you kind of eliminate the other two.
Yeah.
And it kind of gets like you're able to hit the topic more and more micro and really satisfy a lot of questions versus
yeah.
just a general blanket.
And if you're going to a seminar, you're like, I paid $10 to see Mike talk at this gym. Where like, I just saw this on the side of the video, and now I'm watching 3 guys talk on a table about to make an internet. You know, so the impact, you don't know if it's resonating. We're not necessarily, I just talked about this the other day with a friend. We're having conversations, not presentations, which are very different. This isn't a TED Talk. We didn't spend all night writing this thing to make a fucking grand scheme. We're here trying to teach, educate, entertain.
I think people actually like conversations now.
I think so too.
It feels
but,
way more relatable.
But how they judge it is different. That's why I brought that up. Because people judge it like I came with all these notes and like, oh, well, in 1979, Frederick studied. Well, we're not. We're just having conversations and trying to share our knowledge and experience, which is so different. And again, we don't know how this is impacting or resonating.
Because we don't have like points lined up before.
And we don't have people that can just ask a question, right? All right, little Timmy, I'll answer your question at a seminar, and you just answer, fix his squat. Like, we're trying to have this conversation, but there's a lag because of the internet and the view. You know, it's a little bit different.
But the good thing, it lives on forever.
It does, and you can impact more people. And that's why I obviously love it and do it, is because you can impact a broad amount of people and hopefully teach them good things.
What's the original question?
Why'd you get into lifting?
Oh, okay.
To impact and resonate.
To beat people up. But I'm not into that anymore. I just like making people laugh.
No, but it was good how you guys like where it started and now why you're doing it.
Yeah, why we keep doing it is kind of where we ended up.
Yeah.
Because I want to show that lifting can be a very fun thing.
That's it?
Yeah.
Because mo bitches, mo money.
I mean, because if you look at the original barbell content, it was very informational. But now it's just, I just feel like there's so many people that know more and they can deliver in a much more concise way. That's no longer my job. So now my job is to relate to people and show how much more fun that you can have. And if you want to accomplish what I've been able to accomplish, then follow me. Like I think like what makes Kaizen dope is like we're able to hit the people that are way more relatable. If you're trying to set a world record and you've been grinding for 15 years, you might need like
one-on-one,
like a squat specialist or whatever specialist. But for us, we're just trying to relate to the normal person. And if you can lift better and get more fit, that's awesome.
I think so too, because there's so much good information, and because YouTube fitness or YouTube podcasts or Instagram fitness kind of started 2013, 2014, and there's a lot of really good information. There's always been some junk, but now there's only certain ways you can teach the deadlift. There's only certain ways you can get past a plateau. There's only certain ways you can explain macronutrients and micronutrients and flexible dieting and some of these different methods that are proven and really great information. But you can't just keep beating a dead horse. You can't just keep talking about the same thing. So if we can make some of this content entertaining, that's kind of my goal. You're trying to make it relatable and fun, and my goal is either to try to put a smile on somebody's face somehow if they're in a dark spot, or educate you with my experiences and my knowledge that I've hopefully gathered over 10 years. And that's it. If I reach one of those two or a combo of both, we're doing it, and we're going to continue to do this.
I'll leave like one last like note before we wrap this up, and it's why I kind of like you guys and gravitate towards your guys' videos and stuff is because you guys put out like fun, entertaining content, but it's real, and it puts out to what you guys actually do, and it makes it like fun to watch, but also I kind of get the sense of what you can actually gain through fitness, right? But then in terms of like Kaizen and stuff, you guys aren't, because I see so many other programs where they like other coaches and stuff, they talk shit about other coaches and they get into this. You guys just put out what you guys want, but you guys do the research and you guys learn from other people that are above you guys or have a new idea and put it into actual practice instead of just this is our way and this is how we do it. You guys have a culmination of the finding the right answer, or eventually, because there is no right answer, but it's the constant like learning, the constant knowledge, and there's no definitive thing that's like, hey, this is how you do it, but here's the stuff that we've learned through many coaches and people that we trust and put to practice and seen to other people put practice, so that's why I've been liking your guys' content and like knowing that I'm not getting any bullshit out of it.
Thank you.
Hopefully you guys liked this episode. If you guys did, like it. Subscribe if you haven't. Leave a comment down below if there's anything you guys want us to answer. And make sure to check these guys out on Instagram or whatever. Mike's Instagram is
Silent Mike everywhere.
With 2 Ks.
2 Ks.
Bart Kwan. Nadeem Hamidy.
4 Ks.
Bart Kwan. What was the guy's name? Garrett?
Griffin. With his dick tip hanging out.
All right, guys.